Welcome to the Coaches Report with Hofstra head softball coach Bill Edwards. Coach, how's everything going?
Doing all right.
All right, Coach. Not the start to conference play that you would have liked, losing 3 games to James Madison. Just take us through the weekend and what happened.
Well, it all started in the first inning where we had a missed play, and that led to 4 runs for JMU, and it sort of set the tenor for the whole weekend. My hat is off to JMU. They played great softball. They got great pitching, very timely hitting, and made all the key plays when they had to make it. So I have to commend them for the way that they played. And we just didn't take advantage of the opportunities that we had when we had them. And I think we just have to get better in that category.
Some positives though, Morgan Lashley and Taylor Perrone both give you a very good pitching performances, give you a chance to win. Just what did you like out of that?
That's the key, is that every time that we run a pitcher out there, regardless of who it is, they're giving us a chance to win. And that's all we want. And if we can have that chance to win and get some key hits, you know, in some games that are coming up, a little confidence back and realize that we are a pretty good softball team, and we just have to play to the level that Hofstra softball is known to play at.
That first day, a really great atmosphere, about 800 people. It felt like a regional game at some points. Just, you know, for the team, how valuable is that to get that experience early in the season, early in conference season, of just to get ready for these really big games coming up later on?
You know, we've been doing that lately. Early on, we used to go to a lot of tournaments where there were 24, 30 teams there. And it was more of a cloverleaf field setup, and you didn't get that real collegiate atmosphere. It was more of a summer ball atmosphere. That atmosphere at JMU was electric. It was really good, and it's something that we've been preparing for in going to, you know, college venues, playing in college venues with the crowds, with the excitement, and I think that that's important. That we experienced that a little early on in the year down at Florida Gulf Coast and a couple other tournaments that we played at, and it certainly carried over to JMU. And hopefully we can generate that atmosphere here later on during the year. And
JMU, 2 very good pitchers in Jalen Ford and Heather Kiefer. But you did have your chances, especially in the first game. You had runners on base. Was it just a case of not getting that one extra timely hit that might have been the difference?
Nail right on the head. That's exactly it. Our game is all about timing, and I know that I've said this many, many times. It's not when you make the error, or it is when you make the error, it is when you get the key hit, it is when you make the key pitch. There's so many variables that come up in our game, and it's all about the timing of when those things happen. You can make 4 errors in a game and not have it affect the outcome of the game because of the timing of the errors that you're making. You can make 1 error, okay, and it can cost you the game. So our game is so different than a lot of other sports. It really challenges the players to make sure that they're heads up and ready to play on every pitch of the game.
And coming up this week, you have Rutgers. The game's been doubleheader's been changed from today to tomorrow on Thursday. Just talk about the importance of playing, just getting games in and getting game competition.
That's another great point that you're making. The rest of the country has played 30, 32 games, and we've played, maybe 20. And we're like 12 to 14 games behind the rest of the country. Our game, unlike, again, other sports, you have to play games in order to become sharp. You can practice just so much. You have to get into those game situations. You have to see different pitching. You have to be in that mode, in that tenor of games rather than practices. And I think that once we get on a roll, if we can get tomorrow's game in against Rutgers and get against Towson, then we have games next week against Fordham and Delaware State. If we can get on that roll where we're playing games and practicing in between the games rather than playing practices and playing games in between, if we can reverse that around a little bit, I think we can get on a roll.
And this week coming in, you have another big conference series on the road against Towson. Just talk about the team's mindset going in and looking to get their first conference wins of the season.
We want to get back to work in conference play, obviously. JMU was a disappointment to us. Our kids are excited to get back into conference play. And Towson, they always give us a hard time. I mean, we can be 40-0 and Towson's going to take a piece of us. So we're going to have to be heads up because Towson always gives us their best game.
What makes Towson so pesky? Last year, extra inning game in the finale of the 3-game set. Just talk about what makes them potential problem.
Rivalry. We've been playing Towson for years. We go back to the All-America East Conference with Towson. Lisa and I, have a great rivalry going. It's a tremendously friendly rivalry, but the players feel it. And you know, Towson has always given us a hard time. We've always played them maybe in a conference final. Our 3-game series is always predetermined upon, you know, somebody getting into the playoffs or somebody hosting. There's always a consequence, you know, for the outcome of our 3-game series. So it's always a great series.
Sure, and finally, we've talked about it before, but just you have a couple of players who haven't started before getting into some roles and really performing well. And just talk about some of the players who have really stepped up with the playing time that they've received.
You know, we have so many players on the bench that every day at practice I have to go and I have to tell them stay sharp, because we have depth. And we have players on our bench, Michaela Transu, you know, Liza Gazzola, you know, players that are ready to step in and contribute. And then we have the players that are in the lineup that are playing very well now. And you know, we just have to keep grinding it out and keep playing hard and get people maybe into some different roles to see how that works out. We have Maggie Hawkins coming back, who's going to throw a little bit now and start to get back into the throwing routine. So, you know, we're going to start having some lineup changes, and we're going to tweak it a little bit here and there, which is going to include a lot more people. So hopefully it'll all work out.
And Maggie makes her first pitching appearance of the season at James Madison. With her ability to pitch now, in addition to what Morgan's been doing and Taylor's been doing, just talk about what her addition as a pitcher can mean to the staff.
You know, I put her in a real difficult situation because she has not thrown in a game, and I put her in the most crucial game, in the most crucial series, during the most crucial moment of that series. And you know, I wanted her, she had to pitch, okay? She had to pitch on that weekend, and for us to give her that time on that Saturday was important for her. She's thrown a lot this week, and I think she'll be a lot better, hopefully, in the future. In fact, I know she will be. And you know, we just have to get our staff together. We have to figure out how we're going to work Maggie in now with Taylor and Morgan. Both have been throwing great. We also have Jess Peslak now, who's really made tremendous strides since the first week. So we have a staff of 4 pitchers, and now I can pay the big bucks to figure out how to work them all in, and which is why we have to play games. You know, we have to get on that game roll so that we can, you know, put the pieces of this puzzle together.
Well, especially with the doubleheader tomorrow and doubleheaders next week against non-conference opponents, I guess that gives you plenty of opportunity to work these pitchers in.
Absolutely, which is why we're excited to play, and we hope the weather turns and allows us to do that.
All right, well, Coach, hopefully it does, and thank you so much for the time. And thank you, fans, for watching the Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com.